So now what we're going to discuss is another topic. And this is going to be offsetting my opponent's base to the other side. And I want you to understand specifically why I'm doing this and what is going to change now. My grip on her leg is going to be a little different. It might even be the same, but what's going to be different is I'm not going to be able to get rid of her hand on my leg. So I'm going to have to use offsetting her body to kill the post on my leg. And that is why I'm doing this position. That's the first thing I need to understand. Secondly, as I've been explaining over and over, how the angle of the hand is so important in removing it in terms of no gi, right? In gi, it's a matter of positioning yourself, circling, getting your foot inside the elbow. But when they have a no gi grip, it's angling the hand in a way that's strategic for you, that they lose strength in their arm, and then you get around it and your hook is strong again, right? So, lay down please. So just to recap, this one. When she's in De La Riva, I'm using my palm, I break the grip, right? And I'm able to remove the leg. The first one, I was just like this. Because I was like this, she's able to go here and De La Riva again. The second one, the meat of my hand was involved in this exchange. So now she stepped on the floor, and then it came back and here. Right? Because when she stepped on the floor, it took away the meat of my hand on her leg. And once the meat of the hand was gone on my leg, she ended up back here. You see where I have no control of her leg like so. There's one reaction here that could be a little troublesome, and it's if the person uses their thumb like so. When they use their thumb here, why it's troublesome? Do the hand circles, like step on the floor, try to take it off. See how my thumb gives me a little extra leeway on the shin, because look how I can wrap my thumb around her leg. This grip could be a little harder to deal with if I just stay on this side because of my thumb being involved in this exchange. You see? Because she can't circle around this right now. And if she does anything like we were doing before, like going to my bicep, it's very dangerous in De La Riva, because look how I can just throw her leg. You see? So that's why this is troublesome, because if she steps on the floor, I'm able to keep stronger here. If she puts her leg to my leg like this, my arm still stays strong, right? So the only option in theory would be correct would be like how we were saying the rules before, to circle around my thumb. And now she could get around. But every time she does this, she gives us a throw by. So in this case, you can't do that, or we would be completely losing the De La Riva. So that's why I made this a whole separate part for you guys, because this grip could be a little harder. But this rule that I'm giving you right now is going to be will work even if I was with this grip before and you feel like you couldn't get rid of this. Like, let's just say they were too strong. They were too bomba. They were too bomba. So I can't get rid of this, right? But right now we're using the thumb, but I'm just saying that even if they were too strong like this, it would be apply the same rule. So what is the rule? The rule is, if I'm too strong here, I'm really committing all my weight to this side. Because now my straight arm is the strongest it could be. The more any weight I add to my forward leg, the more my arm bends here. And now the easier it is for it to move. The more I commit my weight to this side, the stronger my arm is to fighting her leg, you see. So I'm going to be using my thumb. This is the reaction. I can push down and I just connect my thumb. So now try stepping on the floor. Try putting your foot to my leg. Try keeping the De La Riva. You see, the thumb grip stops that because the meat of my hand is wrapped around her. So what would be technically correct in theory would be doing this. But she can't do this because in De La Riva, if you do this, you get thrown by. So that is the scenario we're going over right now, how to explain. You see. So now, come on. I feel like I had to give you the background of why we can't just do the initial position. You know, it's so important when you're doing this. So that's why I initially explained this spot for you. Okay, so we're here. I'm going to be in De La Riva. Again, how do we get to De La Riva?
You have to stay a line between your shoulder and my shoulder. Okay.
Yes. So what world are we in? Shoulders down. If shoulders are up, we're in world number 2. So her shoulders are down because she's pushing down my legs, right? So my foot, I step on her shoulder to make my body align with her correctly. So my head is in the line of my foot. I go De La Riva now. My other foot, ASIS on her leg. like so. This is what gives me that connection to her body. My collar grip on the collarbone, right? I'm here, my ankle grip holding her leg here. What is the rule? Whenever I'm on my hip like this, we square our hip up. Because every time we're like this, you see I have no strength in my leg, right? So I always, if I'm here, all I simply do is move my hip. I bring my knees here and I square. Here, square. I'm facing her shoulder. Now she puts her thumb in and she clears my leg. So I want you guys to see, look, if I step on the floor, if I go here, look how nothing is working. The only thing I can do is this. This would be technically, in theory, what we would think the pummel, right? You see how you lost the thumb grip when I did this?
Yes.
But now, look how compromised I am with getting thrown by. That is why we can't do that. You see, so that is why I have to do the next thing I'm going to show you. And what is that? It's going to be a concept of completely taking the weight off of my opponent's front leg. So why are we going to do this? It's going to compromise her strength in that arm so much that when I come back, her grip is going to be done. Okay? So I'm going to be here. I'm going to be in double Riva. She's going to be pushing down my leg. I'm going to try to move this, right? I can't. So what am I going to do? All I'm going to do is this. I can't move it. I can't step on the floor. I'm just going to put my foot on the side of her leg like this, right? So she's pushing down. I'm going to pull her body to this direction like so. Keep your arm straight though. Could you keep me from touching your leg when you post it?
No, I can't.
You see? So come back. So notice what I just did. Where's all your weight right now? So hold my ankle so they can see. Yeah. So where's all your weight right now when you're pushing down? Look.
Here.
No, if your weight's forward, look how I can bend your arm.
Oh, okay.
So your weight has to be all on the back leg.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
No. You see, let's just talk about what she just did. So she said her weight was forward, and then I just bent her leg and went here. The reason why I was able to bend it was because her weight was forward. If her weight is forward, I'm able to bend her arm. So she has to put her weight on the back leg. Now I'm going to try to bend her arm. Keep your weight on the back leg and push down. Yeah. Look, I cannot straight. You see how I can't straighten your arm now? Yeah. It's way stronger when you put your weight here. Now because I can't bend her arm, look what I do. I keep my foot on the ASIS, which is why we could do this first of all. I bring her this direction, and now look at this. Could you keep this? No, right?
No.
All I'm going to do is go side foot on her body, just like before. I'm going to push her leg here. I'm going to pull her shoulder to me. I'm going to come back now. Wait, what happened to your grip?
Went back around.
You see what happened? So I was able to kill her grip, the thumb grip that was bothering me, by angling her to the other direction. That's why we're doing this, you see? So again, notice what happened. So let's go again. Use your thumb, take out my Riva. I step on the floor, look, nothing. I go here, nothing, right? Her weight's on the back leg. I cannot connect my foot. I use the ASIS. I pull here, making her post his hand once I move her. So I pull, I make her post her hand. Once I do this, I connect my foot to the side of her body, like so. Why am I doing this? Because look how her arm was straight before. Straighten your arm. Now keep your arm straight. You see how I'm able to pull her, bend her arm every time now? So go back. All I do is straighten your arm. So all I do is this. I bring my knee to her leg, like so. I put my side of my foot on her body like this. I pull the shoulder. And now look how I come back. Move my foot into Riva. You see, her thumb might still be in. But are you able to stay strong here at all?
No.
Now look, I can bend her arm. And I sweep her down. So, what happened? I completely ignored her thumb being there, which is a concept in Jiu-Jitsu of working around something. I didn't eliminate it completely. I just made it useless to her. I made it weak. And you'll see that a lot in Jiu-Jitsu. Lay down. Sometimes I'll be passing the guard, and the person will have a super, super strong collar grip. And I'll feel that it's really strong and I can't break it, right? So then I go around the collar grip. You see? Like, I'm here. Let's say that you have a collar grip on me and you're framing up me. So I can't pass the guard this way. No, yeah, just stay like this. I can't pass the guard this way. But then I'll pass the guard this way. So what did I just do? I used her strength and her grip against her. And that's what we do in Jiu-Jitsu.
So is it making an angle to make it weak? Is that what you're kind of doing?
Exactly. It's the same exact concept. That's what I'm trying to explain. You see? So, if someone has something really strong on me, we change angles. So look how I look at her legs. So if I go into her arm, there's a wall. Look, I cannot pass. You see, and you see a lot of people get stuck here. Look what I do. I just angle myself, I look at the legs. Now push me. She helps me pass when she pushes me. So the concept is changing angles. Well, when someone has something strong on us, we work around it by changing angles. And once we change that angle, it stops the person's strength in that position. So again, we're here. This is so important, guys, because you're going to feel some people are going to be very strong pushing down this De La Riva leg. And that is when we're going to do this. But you have to understand how we're doing this, right? And why we're doing this. So we're here. She's pushing down my leg. I wanna put my leg up. I wanna step on the floor. Look how nothing is working. The only thing I can do technically would be this, in theory. And I get thrown. So I can't do that. So if I know that I'm stuck here, what am I going to do? The rule is, if someone has a really strong grip, we change angles. And that is what we're doing here. Once I change angles, I'm gonna make her grip useless. It's actually gonna trap her arm. It's gonna make you get swept, right? When your arm is stuck like this, you get swept, right?
Yes.
So we're here. She's holding the leg. So what is the rule that I explained before? If her arm is super strong forward, her weight has to be on the back leg. If her weight's on the front leg and she's doing this, she falls. Just be careful. I don't want you to fall hard. You see? So every time she puts her weight to one side in our rules of balance that you learned previously, the opponent will fall, correct? So we have to be focused on that, and we have to know, okay, this arm is super strong. That must mean their weight is on the back leg. Because if you try to move, you can simply feel it like this. At first, you might not be able to know, but you'll start learning. Like, okay, I'm going to try to move you. Keep your weight on the back leg. You see, I want you to do that a few times just to start feeling, wow, I can't move her. She feels 1,000 pounds because her weight, there's no weight there. How can I move someone where there's no weight? And that is what we have to understand. Observation is so important. Knowing these rules are so important. That's why we're able to do these positions, you see? So we're here. She straightens her arm. I can't use this leg now, right? There's no way. I step on the floor. It does not change the angle on her thumb. I go up here. It does not change the angle on her thumb. So I use the ASIS. I pull the collar just a little bit, even my hand on the collarbone. I bring her this way. And keep straightening her arm. All I'm going to do now is bring my foot to the side now. So keep your arm straight. She cannot keep her arm straight. So I'm here, I'm framing. I just pull the collar a little bit. And I bring her shoulder down. You see, there's no way you can keep your arm straight here, right?
No.
So let's see what's happening. Where's all your weight right now when you're here? Go back. I want to explain the hand, your post hand. So straighten your arm again. And put your weight on the back leg. Yeah. So look. All her weight right now is on her hand, right? Is all your weight on your hand right now?
No, it's on my back leg, right?
No, I'm saying with your arm. Like
oh, yes,
strength in your arm. It's like back, right? Like your shoulder is back and your weight's on your hand. When I go here, look at her shoulder. It came forward. What is our rules of posting? Our rules of posting is, I have a strong post when my shoulder is back. When we bring your shoulder forward, look how my post is compromised. Then when we tilt, elbow, all the weight goes to the elbow, our arm is weak again. So that is what I'm doing here. I'm following our rules of posting on my leg. If you notice, these rules are all the same everywhere I'm going. I'm just using different approaches to use them. Like right now, we're just using an angle change, but it's literally the same rule, right? Like your shoulder is coming forward, so you lose all the strength in her hand, and now her elbow is weak. And once I come back, her elbow is completely weak. Her hand doesn't matter anymore because I already took away the strength in her shoulder, hand, elbows, control of her arm post, right? So it's the rules of balance, it's the rules of posting that we learned about sweeping our opponent, and that is what's helping me do this position. So we're here, foot square, I go De La Riva. She pushes down my leg, she removes my leg. I try stepping, I try going here, I can't. I'm just gonna pull the collar, I'm gonna bring her shoulder to me a little bit. But when I bring my shoulder to me, I bring her to this side, right? And now her shoulder is forward. So now look how I can just simply put my foot on her leg, like this. Keep your arm straight. You can't keep your arm straight, right? No. Now straighten your arm as hard as you can. Okay, this is good. Okay, so stay there. So let's say that I cannot bend. Like, I feel like I can bend. Yes, and you're using full strength?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I mean. So I want you to notice my hand also. Come back, square. This hand on her ankle is lifting up her leg. I know all her weight's on the back leg, so I'm just doing this. You see how easy it is for me to lift it up? Because all her weight's on the back leg. So every time I'm here, look how I can lift up her leg because all her weight's on the back leg. You see, that's why I'm doing this. So that's very important. So when she's pushing down, she straightens her arm. She has a thumb grip. I pull her to the side. I bend her elbow, like so. I put the side of my foot on her arm and bend her elbow. The second I see this is done, look what I'm going to do with my hips. I'm going to come back. And when I come back, look what I do. So I'm here. I go on my butt, like this. Now I put the De La Riva in. Now I'm back in De La Riva. But notice how her elbow, the angle of her arm is very weak right now, right? Do you feel like your thumb is helping you at all right now?
No.
Because now I can bend. And look, she's on her tippy toes. What does that mean? It's on like donkey cut. Sweet time. So, on here, let's change angles.
Oh, this angle, okay.
I just wanted them to see a few angles. I'm here. I'm De La Riva here. She pushes down my leg. Again, why are we doing this? The person might be physically significantly stronger than me, where I cannot pummel my leg. I cannot beat their hand. Their hand is just so strong, they cannot beat it. Or they use their thumb. If they're using their thumb, this is the appropriate time to use it because in theory, the meat on their thumb, like this angle of their thumb, the only way to beat this would be circling my leg up. If we're following the rules of circling our leg, which is wrong in De La Riva because we get thrown. So that is another thing that's interesting about Jiu-Jitsu. There's rules for certain things, but the rules that would be correct in one spot might not be correct in another spot, even though you would think that's technically sound to do. Bring the leg up, right? So that is why when we're doing this position, it's important that we just understand that there's exceptions to these rules, right? Because remember I said when I'm here in De La Riva and you're holding this leg with your thumb, I do this. Look, I bring it up, right? And then I go here, right? So it is correct technically to do that on my back leg. But if she does the same grip on this leg, if I do this, throw my leg, it's technically wrong. So that is something I need you guys to start understanding, that in Jiu-Jitsu, you have to understand the exceptions to certain rules, you know? And that is how you put everything together. But at the same time, understanding how to beat someone's thumb grip is very important just in general, right? In gi, no gi, everything. So we're going to be here again. I'm going to be in this spot here. Going to be here. And how I'm doing this is I pull the shoulder. I don't pull her to me like this. When I pull her down, so put your right in the back, like it. Straighten your arm. When I pull her down, I don't just pull her shoulder to me. I pull her body to the side. I pull her body to the side, making her post, and then I pull the shoulder a little bit, so straighten your arm. Now I bend her leg, you see? I keep her foot off the floor. Now when I come back, I put her foot down, and look how I angle myself. I trap the foot under my butt. Why do I do this? Because in the rules of base, for her foot on top, she needs to be square with me. Could you square with me right now?
No, because
your foot angle.
My knee is...
Your foot angle. For her to be square with me, she needs her foot square with me. So her head can face me. For her to have a super strong foot. You see? When her foot is tucked here, for her to face me, she can't because her knee is facing in. Her hip is internally rotated. This disables her foot significantly. And it disrupts her rules of balance as well because all her base is wrong. She has to face me with her head when her body's facing the other way. So how could she have good balance here if she's looking at me and her body's the other way? You see? So that is why I'm trapping the foot like this. And you'll see me do this all the time when I play De La Riva. And it completely stops the person's balance because for you to have balance, you need to be looking at what you're looking at. How can I have balance like this? You see? I have no balance like this because my body is misaligned. My spine is literally misaligned right now. I don't have base. For you to have base, you need your spine in alignment. You need your body in alignment. You need to have perfect body placement. When your spine is misaligned like this, how am I going to be balanced? You see, and I'm putting pressure on the knee, and I'm pushing the collar. You see? So that is why I chop the foot like this. And I want you guys to start noticing the chop the foot like this everywhere. If you watch my Berimbolo instructional, you'll see that I actually teach chopping the foot. Disrupting the dorsiflexion ankle, forcing plantar flexion, right? because plantar flexion disrupts the synergy in your body, and then you're able to turn the knee in. You're able to internally rotate the hip, which I'm always looking to do, because if I can internally rotate the hip, look how much, especially when I'm standing, the rules of balance. How could I be strong if my spine is misaligned? My whole body's misaligned, you see. So I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna have De La Riva. I'm gonna be holding the leg. She has the thumb grip on me. So now what I'm going to do is, I cannot go here, I cannot go here. Look how when I step on the floor, it does literally nothing. You see? So all I'm going to do is, I'm just gonna keep my leg tense, just here, trying to keep it to her body. I'm gonna pull the collar, but when I pull the collar, I'm not pulling it this way. Because how can I move her if I pull it this way? I'm pulling it to put her weight on the back leg. So I pull her to the side. That's what you feel, right? When I do this, you feel like all your weight's going to that back leg more.
I feel like you're just putting everything onto this leg.
That is, you see what I mean? So I need you guys to understand how I'm pulling the collar. If I pull her forward and I try to move her, she's not going to move because I'm pulling her the wrong direction. I need to pull her where her weight is. So all I do is this. So her weight's on the back leg. I'm going to keep my leg on the ASIS. I'm going to move her body this way with my grip. I just move it to the side, simply. Now I pull her to the side. Now when I pull her to the side, I start pulling the collar. You see? So how I'm using the collar is this. So hold my ankle with this hand too, and put your weight on the back leg and straighten your arm. I just do this. I just bring my leg to my chest, to the side of her knee. I pull her shoulder this way. After pulling her shoulder this way, now I can pull her. I put my foot to her leg like this, the side foot again. I'm going to put my foot in and sit up and let the foot trap. Once I'm here, look at her body placement. Try to stay strong base here. Now square up with me. How off balance are you right now?
Yeah, there's no way.
And now look at this. Look how easy it is for me to make her fall. Let's go again to this side.
So when you're in there, are you going like this and then this?
Yes, exactly. So I bring you to the side first, and then I pull you because now I can start bending your arm. But I need to first follow the rules of balance. Your weight's on the back leg. I need to put all your weight on that side. Because for you, but watch, I want you to see something. So when I'm here and I go here, put all your weight on the back leg. When I go here, look what's gonna happen. If you kept your weight all on this side, you would just collapse. So you're keeping some weight on this arm, right?
Yeah.
Now let go of putting all your weight on this arm and just look how you fall. Like you have no base now, right?
Yeah.
You're still trying to base with this arm. If you weren't trying to base with this arm at all, you would literally collapse right now. Remember how I explained before? Put all your weight on this arm and this leg. Look how you're gonna fall. Look, don't post.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't want you to fall. No, you okay? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm good.
You see what I'm saying, though? You're naturally posting because you feel like you're gonna fall. So you have to keep putting weight on this arm. And that's why I'm able to do this, and that's why it's happening. So the person drilling it, if you put all your weight on one side, you're gonna collapse. That's why this arm is what's helping me come back. She has to keep her weight on this arm the whole time in order for me to go back to this position, okay? So I'm here. I'm in De La Riva. She straightens her arm. I'm here. So what am I going to do? I feel this is so strong. I step on the floor. It does not change the angle of her thumb. I go up here. It does not change the angle of her thumb. I'm just going to pull the collar to the side. So what am I doing? So square up a little bit. I just want them to see how I pull the collar. So all I'm doing is this. I just hold the collar. I pull it to the side. So I move her head on this part of my body. I bring her body this way. Now I go side first. So straighten your arm. So now it's a fight of her holding this leg. So all I'm going to do is pull the collar down. I'm pulling her shoulder to my shoulder head area like this. I pull the shoulder. I go here. Once I get my foot to her leg, I put the De La Riva back in. Once I change sides. So here. De La Riva in. Look how strong the De La Riva is now. Look how her foot is trapped under my leg. Look how perfect this positioning is right now. For her to stay based with me, it's impossible. You see, now look how I can make her collapse and make her fall. So here, I'm here. And guys, this is so interesting how her balance is, right? How once we feel her weight on the back leg, we're able to just go with her weight on the back leg and then come back, you see? Because once we come back, we angled around that super strong grip. The same thing is passing, you see? So, and I want you guys to start learning is when you feel something is very strong, I don't want you to try to go against it. I don't want you to run into it. I want you to run around it. Like I explained for lay down, there's a collar grip, and I'm passing the guard here. I go into this collar grip. I'm going into a wall right now. You see? This frame is going to stop me from going into the wall. You see, her frame is stopping me. But if I change angles and I look at her legs and she's framing me, look how it helps me. So come up now. Because she's putting all her weight on this arm and all her weight on the back leg, I'm able to change angles, and now I come back to a superior position than before. So when I'm here, and she puts all the way on the back leg, and her arm is straight, and her shoulder is back, and her arm is straight, and look, see how strong her arm is right now? That is why I'm going around it. Look, I go around it. I pull the shoulder, I come back. Look how I just went around her strength in her arm. I went around it in a circle. Now look where I am. Look how strong this spot is for me. Her foot is trapped, and look how I can make her fall. You see? So, up again, please. You want them this way. I'm here. I'm in double Riva. She straightens her arm. She puts all the way on that back leg. All I do is I hold the ASIS. With my foot on her leg, I hold the collar. I bring her body this way. So, her head is here. I want you to make her head here. So, my knee is here. Her head on the other side of my knee. That is what I'm doing with the collar grip. To this side of my knee. This side of my knee, and I'm using my fist on her neck collarbone to help misdirect her. Whenever I'm holding a collar grip, just in general, how I explained it. When I have a collar grip, it's a frame, right? So come into me. But what also I'm doing with the collar grip, just lean down, like I'm also misdirecting the person's head when you use a collar grip. So my fist is, because I'm on the collarbone, I'm able to make it as a wall, but I'm also able to make it look the other way. Because every time I can make my opponent look the other way, what does that mean about their balance? Their spine is the wrong way to balance. So every time their spine is not aligned with their bodies, their balance is compromised. So in the rules of balance, besides the arm and leg thing, now I'm going to add, if you make the person's spine the wrong way, they're going to lose their balance also. So that is, now that's an extra rule in the rules of balance for us. That not only are we focused on one leg, one arm, putting that on one side, we're focused on making them look the other way. And now look at how my balance is. Because my spine is the wrong direction as my body. My head is the wrong way as my body. So how am I supposed to have a strong balance if my head is the wrong way as my body? You know, that is what I'm looking to do when I'm doing these positions, you see. So let's go again. We're here. I'm in double Riva. Here, again. Angle positioning, so important. My foot aligned with my head. Double Riva. She's pushing down my leg. You see her waist still on the front leg. I can bend her arm, you see. Now she puts her weight on the back leg. There's no way I can bend her arm. She has the thumb grip. I step down, I go here, nothing's working, nothing's working. I keep my leg on the ASIS. All I'm gonna do is I put up pressure. So I want you to see this posture up a second. All I do is this, I just stretch my leg a little bit as I pull. So I go here and I stretch my leg a little bit. So I'm pushing against the ASIS just a little bit on her hip. When I do this, I just push a little pressure and then I come back. So here, she's putting pressure, straighten your arm. I do this. Because now all her weight's on that back leg, right? So now I go here. I put my foot up. So straighten your arm. I just pull the shoulder to me a little bit. The rules of posting. Shoulder forward. Hand weak. Elbow compromised. Now I go here. Look. My foot goes to the side of her body. All I'm going to do here is I'm going to sit up and change my foot. This is the motion that will be a little challenging for you guys to understand. So let's keep going to that spot where I keep stuffing the leg in. So here, I move your leg, I go here, I put the foot down under my leg, but I do it at the same time. Once I bend the elbow, I go here. Look. So here, her foot's here. I put the side of my foot on her body. I push down her leg. As I do this, I angle my body square. So here, square. Now my foot is perfectly placed, and her foot is under my butt. What does that mean? That means I can torque her knee in. What does that mean about her balance? Her head is faced the wrong way as her body. You see? So I completely disrupt her balance by altering her spine where her head isn't facing me. Now when she faces me, her back isn't. You see? So now look at her base. It's so easy to sweep them like this. So let's go again to this side. I'm here. I have the collar like here. She's putting pressure on my leg. I step, I cannot. There's no way. I put pressure on the ASIS. I punch her head this direction. Because what did I tell you the rule of the collar is? When I'm holding the collar, I go to the collarbone as a frame. But I also punch the head as well. So I move her head to make her look the other way. And that is what's altering her balance here. And that's what's putting her whole body onto this leg. So take this leg off the floor. That's what we're doing. We're putting all her body onto that leg. And then once she's balancing her post, we bend it and we put her body back to this side. But now all her weight and arm are on this side, so now she falls. You see? That is what's happening when I'm doing this motion. Okay, so I'm here. She straightens her arm, she has the thumb grip. I can't go up, I can't go down. I pull the hip a little bit, just a little bit. I punch the neck. So I pull her shoulders forward a little bit, I punch the neck, I bring her this way. Now I'm pulling the shoulder, I bend her arm, I bend her elbow. Once I do this, I put her foot down and go here. Once I do this, I square my hip up. And now I get the De La Riva. Look how when I get the De La Riva, the angle of her hip. Even if her arm is straight right now, all her weight is forced to this side. Her head and spine are the wrong way. So look how easy it is for me to tilt her. Now she falls. And now her butt's on the floor. That puts us in all the systems you learned. The sweeping systems and posting, the Barambola system, even the footlock system here. You see, because her weight's on her butt. Once her weight touches the butt, we're able to enter all those worlds, right? And I'm giving you the tools to go to anything you want there. And you could choose what you want to do there. But all I need you guys to learn how to do in this series is get there. You know, I explain how to sweep, I explain how to do Barambola there, I explain how to do the footlock. Okay, so now we're going to do this again. And this is so important, guys. I use this so much, this position. Even when I'm cutting weight, for example, when I cut the rooster weight, I cut like 20, 30 pounds. And I remember when I was training, I would feel so weak in training and I didn't have any strength. But this position I would do over and over, all the guys way bigger and stronger than me, because it doesn't require strength, it just requires angle changing. And that is how someone that's smaller than a big guy could take advantage of, they could be strong because they change angles. If I go head to head with somebody's frames, somebody's strength, I won't be able to do a position. But if I go around it and then I put pressure, I use their strength against them. And that is what I'm constantly trying to do in Jiu-Jitsu. Use my opponent's strength against them by changing angles. So changing angles is so important in Jiu-Jitsu. Okay, so here, let me De La Riva. She pushes down my leg. All her weight's on the back leg. I'm going to pull her this way. Changing her angle. Look at my fist on her head right now. Now I bend her shoulder, putting my foot to her leg. Look, this is the motion that's going to be a little confusing for you guys. Look, all I do is this. I put the foot to the floor and I square my hip up. So look how my hips are this way. I'm just doing this. Here. So I'm like this. From here, 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 here. Now my hook is in. Once my hook is in, I bring my knees and I tilt. So I end up here, I square my hip. I have the hook in, I pull, I tilt. Again, from here. She's pushing down my leg. You see my angle is wrong right now, first of all. You see how my angle is wrong? I have to angle change my body. That's all Jiu-Jitsu is changing angles, right? Now I'm square with her, my head is aligned with her shoulder, right? We're ready to go. I pull her shoulder to me, I punch my fist to her neck, making her head look the other way. You see? Now I put her all the way here. Now she's going to straighten her arm. She's going to try to be strong. I bend her arm. Once I do this, I put my foot in once I square my hip. So I just do the small hip skate. Here, chopping her foot under my body. De La Riva in. Now look how strong I am. She falls. Guys, something I need to explain to you again. Lay down. When you're here, bring me this way. I cannot post both arms like this. In the rules of balance, if I post both arms, just take my back. Just stretch me and take it back. She's just going to take my back. So the person drilling this needs to have one hand always pushing down this leg, because in my rules of balance, how could I be not facing her? I always have to be facing my opponent. So even if she's here and she brings me this way, I have to be facing her here. So the person's head is always facing the opponent here, you see? I cannot have my hands like this ever. I'm getting my back taken. Okay, so that's so important to know. Even when you're passing and playing top, you can never just post both hands and not face your opponent. You're literally giving them your back, okay? So the drilling partner needs to keep their arm on her leg at all times when we're here. So again, we're here. Just pushing down my leg. She's here. I square my head with her shoulder first. I bring my knee to her knee like this. I can't go up, I can't go down, but I can bring my leg here, no problem, right? You feel like I can connect my leg, right? Like, I can't go up, I can't go down, but I can do this. I pull the shoulder, I change angles. I bring my foot to the side of her body, like so. See, she's posting her hand, but she's trying to keep balance on this hand. Because that's what we learned, the rules of balance. If her weight's on this leg, she needs to be using this arm to balance herself. So she straightens her arm, I bring my leg up, bending her shoulder. I come back, squaring my hip, chopping her foot. De la Riva. I pull the shoulder down, I sweep her down. You see? Now let's change sides again. So we feel something strong, we angle change around it. We work around the person's strength. So here, De la Riva. So she's pushing down my leg. I can't go here, I can't go here. I just bring my knee in. Just my calf, leg, whatever I can get into the side of her body. I pull forward, I punch her neck, angle change. I put my foot on the side of her leg like so. Once I do this, I'm going to put my foot in. Once I go back to that side, trapping her foot. So her foot might be flexed right now. Flex your foot. Once I push it down, so keep your foot flexed. Look how I take the leg out. So the person might flex their foot there. Dorsey flexing their ankle, which is just flexing their foot like a De la Riva up. Once I back up and stop it, I put my butt over their leg. So flex your foot now. There's no flex. It doesn't matter that she's flexing her leg. You see? I just have to get around her toes. So when I'm here, flex your foot. I just push down and I put the big toe under my butt. And now I use gravity to push down her ankle to get De la Riva. You see, now look how her base is. So once I'm there, I'm using the gravity to push down her foot. So double pull, please. Because remember, when I taught you in the berimbolo series, to go on a pinky, to trap the big toe under my foot. Because now, once her foot's in plantar flexion, I can bend her knee, right? When a person's standing, instead of using my hand to fight this, I had my whole body to go above her foot and sit on it. So I'm just using gravity to push down her ankle. And do you think the weight of my whole body will bend her foot? Yes, for sure it will. Okay, so stand up, please. So I'm here, I'm in De la Riva. She's straightening her leg. I'm trying to move here, I can't. I move my leg to the side, I pull the collar, I move her head. I go to this direction. She's here. Flex your foot. She's flexing her foot. I push it down. Keep your foot flexed. All I need to do, keep your foot flexed. All I need to do is get my butt on the side of it. So when I come back, look how my whole hip bends her foot. I just use my gravity of my body to get in front of her foot. Now I can sweep her down. Okay, so it's the same concept as in the berimbolo instructional, how I'm using my foot to bend her foot. But I'm just using my body instead of my hand to have to fight her toes. So I'm using my butt to force plantar flexion in her foot. And once I do that, she's stuck with her toes this way. And whatever direction her toes are, her body has to go. Right? If her toe is this way, how could I face square? You see? So the rules of balance, whenever their toes are one direction, my body has to go that direction. If I'm facing this way and the toes are stuck, my spine is misaligned. Our rules of balance are applied, which means I can sweep them. You see? So stand up, please. I'm trying to give you guys every single detail possible, so you guys don't have to struggle with any of these spots. It's just a matter of hip escapes. I'm here, I pull, I change angles. I move her this way. Once I'm here, look how I'm on this hip. I just square my hips up. But as I'm holding the ankle, which I'm lifting up, I push it down, moving my body on top of the foot, forcing plantar flexion, right? So we're here. She's pushing down my leg. I'm trying to move this. I can't. I just bring my leg to her leg, right? Because you're strong here, right? I cannot move this, but I can do this. Here. I pull. I punch her head. I go here. She's straightening her arm. I bend her elbow. The rules of posting. I push down her leg. Keep your foot flexed. I push down her leg like this. And now I come back. You see, this is all I need you guys to be able to do. Now once you get here, it's so easy to balance. I'll balance them. Try to face me. The more she faces me, the more you fall, right?
Yeah.
If she doesn't face me, we take her back. So it's such a win-win this situation, you see. So let's do sides one more time. We're here. I'm in this spot. She's pushing down my leg. I can't go here. I can't go here. I move my leg here. I pull her body to this side. I get her here. Flex your foot. All I do is a side foot on her body. I bend her elbow. Rules of posting. I go here. And as I'm here, I'm hanging on the collar. So I pull down the collar, I'm just hanging on it. So when I'm on this side and she's flexing her foot, I hang on the collar to get my body in front of her leg. Now I go de la Riva. Now I sweep her down. So to the other side again, one more time. We're here. She's pushing on my leg. I can't do anything. I just move my leg to the side. I pull her this way. The ASIS. I'm crunching to the ASIS. I'm crunching. I bring my leg up. I bend her arm. I push down her leg. So I'm holding her leg up with my elbow, right? Look at my elbow, how I'm holding it up. I just push it down. So I straighten my arm. So keep your foot flexed. I just straighten, keep your foot flexed. I just straighten my arm to go here. Now I'm here. Foot shot. She tries to face me. She falls. There's no way she cannot fall there. And if she does not fall, you're going to be able to take the back so easy, which I'll explain in later lessons. But right now, we're just learning the rules of balance. We're learning how to disrupt the person's balance. And now you just learned how to alter the opponent's spine, making them look a different way. You just learned how if somebody's grip is too strong to break, how we go around the grip. We circle around it. And then we put them in such a compromised spot where they can't do anything. You see? So it's a matter of just hip escaping. I'm here. I pull the collar. I punch their head. I move the body this way. My hip is this way, right? I just square up. Once I square up, look how I'm holding the angle of my elbow. I push down. I put my butt on top of the foot. Dorsiflex, force to plantar flex. Once this happens, my foot is stuck this direction. Now their head is facing you, but their body's the other way. It completely disrupts my balance. So if I want to face you, I'm going to fall. If I don't face you, I'm breaking the rules of base in jiu-jitsu. I'm giving my back because if I always have to face my opponent. That's 100% I have to face you. If I don't, I'm going to give you my back. So I need you guys to practice all the steps like a cooking book, okay? Pulling the collar, remember, always around the collarbone. It's so important. And now you just learned another rule of the collar. Not only are we framing with it, we're using it to make the person look another direction, right? We bring them to one side, we change the base, we come back. Once we come back, we're able to sweep the opponent. So let's work this now. Okay guys, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a recap of all the lessons we just learned. Because this will not only apply in this position, this will apply in all of jiu-jitsu. How to address a post on your body. How to sweep your opponent. How to disrupt their balance. Remember what you just learned previously, the rules of balance. The rules of balance are just like we learned previously. You can just move back a little bit, please. If my weight is on this arm, it has to be on this leg. If my weight is on this arm, it has to be on this leg. Whenever my weight goes to one side, I fall. Whenever my weight goes to one side, I fall. My spine has to be in the same, my body has to be in the same direction as my feet. If my feet are one way, my head is the other way, my spine is misaligned. Every time I have a misaligned spine, I have no balance. We're constantly doing these concepts when we're playing guard, when we're playing de la Riva. We're constantly using these concepts. I'm misaligning her spine with the collar grip. The rule of the collar grip. If I have a collar grip, I'm using it as a frame on her collarbone. She comes into me. She can't. The discussion of soft tissue versus bone. Every time I have a collar grip, I have to be on her collar to have the correct frame in my fort that I'm building, right? With this collar grip, it enables me, if I pull her forward, to push her neck the other way. What just happened? I misaligned her spine, which means her balance is compromised. Sorry.
No, you're good.
It just showed like how, yeah, okay. Posting the arm, her shoulder is back. She has a strong post. She's able to balance. Every time we bring her shoulder forward, she loses the pressure from her hand into her elbow. Every time her shoulder is forward, we push, her elbow bends. We're constantly doing this in de la Riva. And I'm sorry how enthusiastic I am about this. I just really am it's so interesting to me. Like, I get so excited talking about this because it's so interesting how the body works and how the mechanics of the body work when we're discussing these positions, you know? And that is why I'm saying it how I am, because you'll start seeing this everywhere we go. Okay? And it's just a concept of also, now we're going to talk about the next concept. Grips on my legs. In De La Riva, with the Toriano grips, I just gave you every possibility in the first world of shoulders forward that my opponent could be grabbing my legs. Every grip they could do, we have an answer for it. You see? So you're starting to see more and more how it's so simple yet so complex, right? Because if you didn't know this, you would think it's so complex. Man, I can't move the person, like there's nothing I can do. But because we know every grip they could do, instantly it triggers our chart in our mind. And I'm going to make a chart for you guys. I want you guys to see this chart that I have for you, and you're going to see that in your mind you'll be able to group everything accordingly. Oh, okay, their shoulders are forward. World 1. Why is it world 1? I'm grabbing the collar. I'm able to grab the collar. If I couldn't grab the collar, I wouldn't be in world 1. I'd be in world 2, right? So that instantly triggers, okay, I'm in world 1. Okay, shoulders forward. Now we know there's 2 families in shoulders forward, right? What other families could there be? Only Toriano, family 1. Collar and leg, family 2. They have both grips on my legs. Family 1. You see how simple it is? That's how everything we could group in this position. It's so systemized and so set up for you guys to use that it's so simple. So, okay, she's pushing really strong. Stand up, please. Push down this leg. She's pushing this leg really strong. What is that? What do I know that means? In the rules of balance, that would mean her weight's on her front leg. She's pushing down this leg really strong. In the rules of balance, what does that mean? Her weight's on the back leg. If it wasn't, push this down and put your weight on the front leg. She falls. You see? So how simple are these rules? It's so simple. It's just having this knowledge of all these concepts put together, right? Understanding a grip on the leg. If she's holding my leg, my knee goes to my chest. If my leg is inside her, if my leg is inside her arm, my knee goes to my chest, I can place my foot again to the leg. If she uses her elbow to block my leg, instead of going here, there's nowhere I can go here. If I go to my knee and my chest, how can I get around her? I go to the floor, my foot goes around. Now I'm back inside. My foot goes back to the ASIS. She's holding my ankle. She's holding my ankle. I bring my knee to my chest. I can circle around her using my foot on her wrist. Here. She's holding my ankle. Her elbow's in front of me. Bend your elbow. Her elbow's in front of me. So I step. I spider her arm. Now look at my knee, how it goes back inside. I bring my knee to my chest. Look how I just circled her wrist. Now I'm back here. So you just learn how to manipulate every grip the person's doing. Either if it's with the cloth, where I could circle my leg around, depending on the elbow placement, to get my foot back inside. Then you learn when we're in nogi, we can't circle around our leg like we were. So what are we doing? We're circling around, we're changing the angle of their grip. So they're holding it, we focus on the angle of their grip to make it that there's less meat, there's less volume on my leg in the angle that we're circling, right? We're constantly doing this. Then you learn, after learning how to completely fix this side if the person's dominating this leg, right? Because I gave you every grip possible that the person can give you. There's no other grip the person can do on my back leg. So then I explained the front leg and how palm grip is probably the most popular way. But because there's no thumb in the palm grip, I'm able to simply bring my leg up and go here. But when they bring all their hand into their palm like so, I step on the floor, circling the wrist again back to this spot. Now I go back here, back to De La Riva. Then I gave you one more obstacle, the thumb on the De La Riva. And remember what I said before when the thumb was being used here, how the rule would be, if we were following the other side, spider the arm, right? So if I'm here and she puts her thumb in my leg, you would say, okay, because just press down, yeah. If I step, bend your shoulders though, yes. If I step on the floor, I come back, nothing happened. I go here, nothing happened. Put your weight on the back leg. Here, yes, here and here. But I could circle and go here, right? Just keep your thumb. I could circle and go here, right? That would be acceptable on the other side in our rule of how we just did it on the other side. But as we know, if I do this, I don't have a frame here. She could throw my leg. I lose my frame, I'm making my fort weak, she could expose my fort, right? She finds a weakness in my fort, she takes it. So we learned that if a grip is too strong, we don't go against it. We don't fight it. I don't go head to head with this grip. There's no way I'm going to beat this. I just go around it, just like we learned. Something's too strong. There's a wall. Am I going to just go straight into the wall? Why would I just walk around the wall and then go into the wall at a different angle? You see, that's all we're doing. If there's force on me, you know, if she's pushing me, push with this hand here. If she's pushing me, am I going to go into this? No, I'm going to have to use so much strength and force to go into this. I'm just going to simply walk to the side, look at her legs, and pass a guard. Using her force against her. That's exactly what I'm doing now. She's pushing down my leg with full force. All her weight's on the back leg. I'm going with her. I'm going here, coming around, and I'm angling around her. You see? Now, please stay.
Okay.
Yep. Now, the rules of balance. Face me. Her spine is her head is facing a different direction than her legs. Every time her leg is facing a different direction than her legs, I can sweep her, right? Her toes are this way. Her body has to face the same direction as her toes, which means she falls. I'm constantly doing this everywhere, and you're seeing how we have an answer for every grip scenario. And that is what I'm giving you when we're doing these positions. And in this first part of the family one, I was able to bring my opponent's weight all to the front side every time, back here, and make them fall. Every time I was able to get their body manipulated back to this front leg. In these series, you'll see there's many different ways I could accomplish sweeping my opponent, attacking submissions, attacking the back, flipping my opponent. There's so many different things that are going to happen. But why I taught you sweeping first, I need you to understand how to sweep your opponent, how to manipulate their hands. You see, this is her fort. Every grip she makes on my body is her fort. Her frames on my body. So how I explained guard before, every frame I have is building my fort. The more frames I have, the stronger my fort is. Every grip she makes on my body is her fort that she's building on my body. So I have to focus, instead of trying to push against her fort, against it when she's strong, I have to focus on disrupting her fort, finding the holes, the weaknesses in her fort. And once I find the holes and weaknesses in her fort, I'll be able to adjust everything, disrupting her fort. And every time her fort is disrupted, I could expose her, I could attack her, and I could use my jiu-jitsu against her. So I want you guys to start seeing how specific we're triggering certain points on her body by understanding how that body part works, how we can manipulate that body part because we know the strengths in that body part. We know the angling of that body part compromises that body part. That is what we're doing everywhere in this series. That is how we're getting around this, right? And again, every time I'm sweeping my opponent, De La Riva, I'm getting her body, I'm clearing this post, I'm getting all her body to this side of her body. Look at the tippy toes. Tippy toes in the back leg. It's on. She falls. You see? Her butt touches the floor. I taught you in this series how to expose your opponent if their butt's on the floor to sweep them. How to manipulate them. If there are the rules of sweeping, their butt touches the floor, that means we swept them. The only way they can avoid keeping their butt on the floor is if I post a hand, I post both hands, because I can remove my butt from the floor. But as we know, I'm only strong if my shoulder's back. I pull the shoulder forward, I lose all the strength in my hand. Now it's in my elbow. I push her down, they fall. Again, we're just doing these concepts over and over, and you're learning now how to really understand the body, how to manipulate the body. The ASIS on her leg, we're playing just like we play the collarbone. You're learning that when you have the connection of the ASIS, the only way she can get over your leg is if she brings her hip forward, her ASIS forward. If I keep my leg on the ASIS, she can't come forward. You see how how uncomfortable she is. And now look when she tries to move, she falls. I'm perfectly positioning my body where she cannot even fight me because of my frames. My fort is sound. It's, what did you say again is the strongest one in Fortnite?
Steel?
It's steel when we position ourselves this way. Okay, that is why I'm positioning myself this way. And the person on top, not only are you drilling on bottom, the person on top is drilling as well. That is why you're significantly going to improve in understanding how to base in De La Riva after this series. Because guard and top are identical. They're literally identical. The framing, the positioning. I feel like when I started playing more top, my guard significantly got better because I started understanding how to balance, how to base. And then I started using that in guard as well. And then my understanding in guard made my top better because I understood what I was doing on bottom that made my base wrong on top, right? So now when you're drilling, that's why it's so important both people in this series are working it together, because I'm actually drilling when I'm on top. When I'm in this spot with her and I try to remove the foot from the hip, I'm drilling right now when I try to remove this from the hip because I just felt my balance move. Jiu-jitsu is all feel. It's conscious and subconscious, but jiu-jitsu is all feel. I just felt how my balance was disrupted. I just felt my weight go from my arm here to my front arm, and that is why I fell. When I'm here, bring this side. Now I feel all my weight is on this hand. Now come back. I feel all my weight go from my back leg to my front arm. You see? And because I'm feeling this, I'm going to learn how to base correctly, how to position myself correctly, how I need my opponent to feel on top. You see? It works back and forth. That is why both people, when they're drilling this together, have to give each other feedback. I want you, when you're drilling with your partner, my weight's on my front leg right now. In the beginning, I want you to tell your partner where your weight is. I want you to tell your partner, okay, my weight's on my front leg. And then your partner's going to say, okay, if your weight's on the front leg, that means your hand has to be on the back arm. Put your weight on the front arm, please. And then you'll see that you fall. That is how your body is going to naturally learn how to do these movements. Because you're going to start, your subconscious is going to start learning. First we learn consciously in jiu-jitsu. In jiu-jitsu you learn everything conscious, but then your subconscious takes over. So you're going to learn all these movements consciously, and then your subconscious will start learning feelings. And when you have the feelings in these positions, you'll be doing it over and over. So I'm just going to explain how to drill this. So you're in De La Riva. We're here. Okay, Tammy, my weight's in the back leg right now. So what does that mean? Where's my weight with my arm?
If your weight's on the back leg,
yes.
So that means you're putting pressure on this arm.
Yes, right? Okay, so what does that mean you have to do?
Bring you to that side.
Well, first, you see, look at my hand. Like, you see, I just stopped her because she was about to drill it and go to the wrong position. She doesn't have to go to that side first.
Oh, the back leg goes this way.
She doesn't have to go to that side first because we first think about what is my grip. You see, I have a palm grip. I don't have a thumb grip. You might be able to just put your leg up and then put it in. Yep, and now, because my elbow is here, you pull me forward, now punch, and look at my elbow. She made me fall. So as you see, look what just happened. I gave her public feedback on her position. And that is why we're able to drill it like this. Over and over, we have to give each other feedback on the position. Your drilling partner is so important this way. That's why you're learning it together. You see, I'm telling her my reaction, and I'm saying, oh, I'm strong like this. Look, try this. You see, so now you're here. You're in De La Riva. The same thing is going to happen. Your palm is here. So what are you going to do here? Where's my weight?
Your weight's on that leg?
Yes. Why is it on that leg?
Because you're pressing down this arm.
Yes. So now you try to bring your leg up. Do you feel like you can?
No.
Why is that?
Because you have your thumb grip in.
No, I don't have the thumb grip in.
Oh, you're pressing too hard on this.
I have more volume of my hand on your leg, which means you step on the floor. You angle your hand. Wait. Now look what happened to the volume of my hand on your leg. It changed. You see how it less on your leg now? Now go De La Riva. You see? It's that simple when we're drilling. That is how you work and you both get better together. You see? There isn't You aren't just trying to mimic what I'm explaining to you. This is a deeper level of thinking. You're both helping each other learn. And that is how you're going to keep improving in this series. That is how I want you to improve. I'm not teaching you moves just to mimic. I'm teaching you moves to master. And how you master it is this level of approach. Both people helping each other. Both people giving each other positive feedback. I'm here. Where's my weight?
On your front leg.
Why is it on my front leg?
Because you're using this arm.
Yes. So what are you going to try to do? Yes. So now what are you going to try to do?
Oh no, it's this one. It's that way.
No, how you do it's fine, but look how your knee, spider my arm.
Oh.
And now place your foot. And now connect to the ASIs. So now my weight's back on the front leg. And look. You see? This, I'm teaching you guys how to learn. I'm teaching you guys how to learn in all of Jiu-Jitsu right now. I'm teaching you my brain, how I think about these positions, how I'm drilling these positions. I prefer you guys drill 5-minute rounds, each of you, when you do this. Each person that's on bottom and on top is drilling at the same time. As you see, you're going to get tired mentally doing this. You're going to feel like it's a brain workout, but it is. Jiu-Jitsu is all thinking. It isn't physical force. We're not drilling like this. Stand up. Ah! Go, go, go. Ah! We can drill like this, but
There were times you've
I drill like
before
this
a tournament.
before a tournament if I've been practicing timing. But it'll be a specific reaction that I'll tell her to do over and over to get the muscle memory. Right now, how you guys are learning is studying position. We're doing a study type of drilling. There's different types of drillings for each different scenario. If I'm a competitor, I'll do drillings during the day with specific where I'm studying and just exchanging ideas with my drilling partner. Then I'll do, if I'm close to a competition, I'll do more like some explosive, but still not to the extent of just screaming and having no idea of what I'm doing. The scream makes it sound cooler, right? It makes it look cooler. So that is why I'm drilling. I'm trying to explain to you guys how to drill this because I want you to learn the most efficient way possible. I don't want you to just mimic what I'm doing at all. Please don't. Just have your partner give you public, like the feedback while you're doing it. And if they're having trouble giving you feedback, explain to them what you want them to do at first. Go on top and explain to them the base, because when you explain to them the base, that's what's going to make them understand how to do it. And that's what's going to make your understanding of the position so much better.
No, you actually do that. When I drill you or anyone drills you, you always ask, oh, how do you feel here right now when I'm here? You actually always ask.
I'm always asking for feedback of what you're doing because that's what gives me the understanding, the deeper understanding of what your body's doing. And then we're able to work around what your body's doing. That's always what we do, you know? So that is why I'm giving you this type of way to think. This isn't just about concepts, Stevie. This is about how to think about jiu-jitsu. You know, I hope you're starting to see that more and more.